Welcome, Taurus and Taurus cross watchers, to your December 2023 monthly love reading. So we have the overall situation here. The big deck is really just quite loud on the desk. And then we're going to look at what each of you is thinking, feeling, actions or intentions towards each other. And of course, we'll get clarifiers if we need. So I hope you guys are having a great day. We're going to start on your end, or sorry, on your side here. And of course, thank you for stopping by my channel. I almost went like, ooh. So we have the King of Wands for what's in your headspace and in Taurus's heart space. How's Taurus feeling about this person? Oh my gosh, I have been dropping the cards so much today. We have Temperance. Just going to make sure it's upright. And then actions or intentions for Taurus. Hold on for a second. It just feels like you're... Okay. Before I say anything, let's just, let's get the rest of the cards out. Taurus's actions or intentions. Taurus's actions or intentions. How many cards is that? Okay. Interesting. So we have the Queen of Pentacles, Knight of Cups, Judgment, Knight of Wands, and then their actions or intentions. With the King of Swords at the bottom of the deck. I feel like this is somebody that moves. It's like they don't want to move at the pace you want to move at. Either they want to move like much faster than you. I'm not sure that's it. I feel like this person wants to move much, much slower than you. It feels like this person is, it's like they might be somebody that is really confident and they feel like they have everything that they need. It's almost like the type of person that like they don't actually even want like a full-fledged relationship with anybody right now, but they're acting like they do. It's almost this energy of like they feel, it's almost like a relationship is something they just want to get squared away, if that makes sense, right? It just feels like, I don't know. It just feels like somebody that's pursuing a relationship, even though it's not what they want. That's a really peculiar energy. It's almost like they feel there's some sort of, it's like it's a rite of passage. To them, it feels like it's a foolish childish thing to do. But it's almost this energy of like they just feel like they have to smile and nod. And it's like they may, there's something about their behavior that's off. It doesn't make sense. It's like it does not compute. Sorry, just embarrassed myself. It just feels like there's something with this person that does not make sense. Like at all. I'm going to see if I can dig into that because it's just going to make sure the deck is upright. What's going on with this Chariot? We have the Knight of Cups again. King of Swords. We have the King of Swords at the bottom of the deck. King of Swords reversed. Hanged Man reversed. I think it's almost like they're not scared of being alone, but there's pressure from somewhere, or there's like, it's almost like their hand, I don't know why I keep going back to the same thing. It just feels like their hand is forced. it's almost like the way that they want to live their life is not acceptable. It does not fit, does not compute with the people around them. So it's like they're just doing what needs to be done in order to not necessarily appease other people. It's not like they're a people pleaser. It's more like they're doing it, I want to say, like, because they know that it's the right thing to do, but it just feels like it's not what they want right now. It's almost like they don't want the beginning, or like, let's say for example, they don't want the beginning of the relationship. They want the stability that it provides down the road, right? When it's kind of like there's a certain comfort factor. It's like, yeah, that's what they want. They just don't want to have to go through that whole process of getting to know each other and learning about each other and all that sort of stuff. They don't want to do any of that. Excuse me. It doesn't mean that they won't. It's like, let me liken it to, how can I explain that? It's, if you've seen those memes around where it's like, having to get to know a new person all over again and kind of explain yourself, not like explain who you are or make, excuses or anything like that. It's more like teaching this person about yourself. They don't want to do any of that anymore, right? It just feels like it's like they're intelligent enough to understand that that has its place, but I feel like they're annoyed that that's hold on for a second. Not annoyed necessarily, but they're just feeling kind of like a little bit downtrodden in that area, actually. A little bit defeated, maybe. And it's almost like as soon as I said the word defeat, this person's like, no, I don't accept defeat. Like, oh, okay, that's cool. But it feels like to them that like they're just kind of, knocking on a door and no one's home. I feel like this is something that seems to, befuddle them, if you will. It feels like it's somebody that may be very calm, they do very well in other areas of their life, but this area seems to elude them quite well, actually. And it's almost like, and that seems to make them feel a little bit determined to do it. But then the other part of them is like, but I don't really even want this. You know what I mean? So you over here with the King of Wands energy, I feel like you really like this person. Hold on for a second. But it's almost like there's something here that makes you feel like, I don't know why this is what's coming through, but it seems to make you feel a little dead inside. It seems like there's something here that it's almost like you feel like you're throwing good money after bad. And not that this person is like, bad investment or something like that. Okay. It's not like you're looking at this person like that. Oh, sorry. Sorry about that. So, the cards were talking about how it almost feels like you're kind of throwing good money after bad here. And I feel like that's because you can feel that something's off. It's almost like clearly there's a certain amount of interest from this person. But it feels like you can never quite get a good read on them. You can't get a good grasp on what it is. I want to say that's like that they want. Whatever is going on with them, that they kind of don't really want to have a relationship, or they don't want to do the work for a relationship right now to build it. I feel like you're picking up on that, but it's like some of the things that they're doing and saying aren't in line with the energy that they're sending to you. So I feel like the best parts of yourself, or like I almost want to say like the way that, okay, and I'm going to generalize Tauruses, whatever. I'm going to generalize you guys here for a second, but I've never met a Taurus that doesn't do this. because you guys are so in touch with like the physical senses, when you really care about somebody, in my experience and from what I've seen, you take exceedingly good care of people that you really care about. You know what I mean? Their needs and their wants and taking care of them. It doesn't get tossed to the sideline because you're too focused on other things, right? Doesn't mean that you don't focus on your own stuff. So I'm just going to close the door because I can hear my son yelling at his Xbox right now. Sorry, 1 second. Okay, sorry about that. And it's like all of those really gorgeous parts of yourself that you normally would extend to somebody that you are either getting involved with or you're starting to kind of date. I feel like that's this fire here, right? That's kind of what I'm seeing that as. And it's almost like you're standing there kind of like, I know I have this thing that's really valuable, and it's really, I feel like it makes you feel really good when you are able to do that with someone that you care about. And I feel like you are holding that back, and it's almost like you're holding it back feeling like it's almost like you feel that if you give it to this person, that they'll just take it and toss it to the side. And I feel like it doesn't really feel like you're able to connect it to anything from the past. Maybe you are, but that's not the driving force here. It's this energy of like, something's not right. Something's off. So then we have Temperance, which of course is the Saggy card, but it's reversed. Sorry, I'm looking at the card, not the camera. So I feel like some of you may see certain signs about this person and what's really going on here. And it's almost this energy of, for those of you that are able to see it really quickly, and well, doesn't mean that you don't see it very quickly, but I feel like some of you may struggle to trust it, that's really what's going on. It's almost like it's something so strange that I feel like you may have a hard time wrapping your head around it, because it's not behavior you would expect from another human, right? It's almost like, well, if you weren't looking for a relationship, then what you would be doing is not looking for a relationship, right? And it's not to, bag on this person. They've got their own reasons and their own stuff going on. It just feels like, because that's how you operate, you're not going to be putting time and energy into something that you don't want. The fact that that's what this person is doing, I feel like that may be why you're having a hard time wrapping your head around and figuring out why you feel like you want to hold back so much, because it's just not something you would ever do. And it's almost like it doesn't even get to the point where you're thinking about how it would affect other people. And let me flesh that out a little bit. It's like, because there's nothing in you that would ever do that. There's nothing in you that would be like, oh yeah, that sounds good. I'm going to go waste my time trying to get something that I don't want. You know what I mean? So it's like, it never quite comes to a place where you have to, look at it from an empathetic sort of stance and like, is this going to be okay in relation to other people as well, right? It never even gets to that point. It's just with you and yourself, like, it just doesn't, it's like, it seems almost like nonsensical. I also feel like you may see this person as, hold on for a second. There's something about this person that does seem to be drawing you in, but I feel like it's almost like I feel like they kind of flip-flop back and forth, right? Like their energy is great and open and positive one day, and the next day, they're dismissive and cold. And it may not be those actual, those ends of the spectrum. It doesn't mean that that's even the spectrum that they're on, right? It just feels like there's something about this person that just doesn't, it's like, what do you even want? You know what I mean? If this person wants happy life, happy family and home and partner and all that sort of stuff, like you have to put the work in to do that. And I feel like it's actually making you feel really out of balance. It's almost like, it's kind of like a push-pull dynamic. And I feel like because this person is doing something that they actually don't want to do, it's almost like it may feel like they're toying with you Um, sorry, that's my son calling. One moment, please. Sorry about that. Um, it just, it's almost like if it was upright, you would be able to see that this is just kind of like an exercise in futility. But I feel like because it's not something that you would ever think to do, it's like you can't quite reconcile with what you're not what you're perceiving, but like because what they're doing and saying says that they want a relationship, but their energy is off. It's like you're trying to, because usually it's the other way around, right? Usually, or what is more common anyway, in my experience and in doing the tarot, is that people want things, but they act like they don't. And this person's doing the opposite. And so you're looking at it like, oh, okay, okay. You know what I mean? Trying to figure out what's going on. And for some of you, this may not be for all of you. It almost feels like part of you is, it's not like you're staying here with like morbid curiosity, wanting to just know what's going on or looking for some sort of intensity. I feel like you're just looking at it kind of like feeling like maybe there's something more, right? It's like if this person is acting and saying certain things, but their energy is off, it's like, it's almost coming from a place of like concern and like, is this person okay sort of deal, rather than, immediately thinking that this person is being you know, inconsiderate with your time. So I think we're going to pull a clarifier for this unbalanced. We have the Five of Pentacles reversed and the Knight of Pentacles. I feel like you kind of let this other person lead the pace of the connection. And now let me be clear, that doesn't mean that you're sitting around waiting for somebody and so on and so forth and all that crap, okay? It just feels like as long as you are willing to entertain what's going on here, as long as you are like, as long as your personal boundary allows, I feel like it's almost like you may have kind of been, it's almost like two people running towards each other at the beach. You know what I mean? Running into each other's arms. And it's like, and you see this person slow down and you start slowing down, but you don't quite understand why until you get close enough to them to realize that like they don't want to hug. It's that type of a thing. I don't know if that helps. I hope that it did. It just feels like you're looking at this like, I feel like you're allowing this to go at a pace that's whatever it needs to be, sometimes like as slow as a snail, more because it's actually giving you time to kind of feel out what the frick is going on and what this person is really like, what's actually going on, right? Because you're willing to give this person the benefit of the doubt in that, like, if their energy is off, then maybe they have something going on with their family, or if they have children, or, like there could be a whole plethora of things that are happening to this person that they're not communicating to you. So I feel like you're kind of willing to give them the benefit of the doubt here, but I feel like that may be where it's almost like if this person wanted to slow things down, I feel like you'll slow them down even more. And I feel like if you do that, if you choose to do that, it's almost like this person kind of perks up. If they're someone that's used to everybody rushing them, rush, like trying to push them and push them, I feel like they actually really appreciate that about you. And it's almost like, it feels like it takes the pressure off, and it's kind of like they flip from being like, okay, I don't want this, to kind of like, oh, okay, all right, well, let's see where this goes. And I feel like what's unfortunate is that they're kind of willing to look at things a little bit differently. And I feel like you're over here like, yeah, but it's been kind of off the whole time. Your actions or intentions are the Knight of Cups, which is kind of that like, It is a loving energy. It is that watery energy. It is a knight, so it is moving forward. But it's more almost like, this might sound strange, it's kind of like you may advertise yourself to a certain extent, right? Not that you're trying to like, it's not being braggy or anything stupid like that. It's more like a playful, fun, lighthearted energy. You know what I mean? So it's almost like if something really challenging is happening in this person's life, which you may be under the assumption of, I feel like you're looking at it like, okay, well, I'm just going to bring in something lighthearted and playful, and just kind of like, so we can enjoy each other's company. And so I feel like here you are coming in with that energy, and this person over here realizing that you're not going to be almost kind of like clawing at them. I don't know what they've been through in the past, but I don't know why they feel like that's what relationships are going to be. And so I feel like it's almost like you're just kind of putting an idea to them, and like if they take it, good. If they don't, okay, that's okay too. Again, I want to, it doesn't feel like you're clamoring after anybody or you're chasing after anybody. It's almost like, hold on for a second. I feel like you are holding a lot of yourself back. It just feels like you're doing this out of like, I want to say like kindness. Feels like knowing what it feels like to be misunderstood. I feel like you may be trying to set an example for this person about how to step outside of whatever they're going through so they can still enjoy their life. If that makes sense. So, sorry to reach across the camera there. We're going to do what you, just going to make sure the deck's upright. Any final words for Taurus? Oh, okay. So we have the Ten of Pentacles here at the bottom of the deck, and then we have the World reversed. So, hold on for a second. It doesn't seem like anyone's going to cave, so to speak. And I kind of hate using that word here because it's not like there's a tete-a-tete or there's some sort of like competitive bumping up against each other or anything like that. It feels more like it's just, it just kind of feels like it doesn't go anywhere, at least not right now. I feel like you're holding back for your reason. They're holding back for their reason. It's almost like, and it ends up being a situation where like two people who don't feel comfortable and don't feel like they can trust the connection or kind of lean into it and learn to trust it. And I don't really understand what the connection here is, what the reason. I'm sure you guys have your own reasons. Maybe I'm not meant to understand, but it doesn't look like this is over, but it doesn't look like anything happens with it either. I feel like this person may feel like they have to put some sort of label on it. And then when you come in with this energy of like, actually it's like we're not even there yet sort of deal, I feel like that it just seems to take the pressure off for them. Anyway, I hope this reading made sense. I hope that it was helpful. If it did resonate, I love you guys, and we will see you on the next one. Much love. Bye.